All right. Kick it. Drake it. Win it. Loot away the land. Get some lads. And, yeah. Go to combat. Swing. And 16 ya. Kicker! Oh, this deck's actually pretty sweet. Today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Card Kingdom. And right now, you can pre-order Zendikar Rising by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for our first Zendikar Rising edition of Budget Magic, and good lord do we got a sweet one this week. This is Blue-Green Kicker. I know, a deck you probably weren't expecting, a Dark Horse contender, a deck that is way sweeter than I ever would have imagined, and this deck, it's important for a couple of reasons. One is, it's ridiculously cheap. It's 25 bucks currently in paper. It's under 20 rares, including 8 in the mana base on Magic Arena. So super cheap everywhere. More importantly, the deck is pretty competitive and it's ridiculously fun to play. I don't think I've ever played a more fun $20-ish deck in the entire history of Budget Magic. This deck is just so much fun to play. So let's jump into it, talk about the deck, get into our games. Oh yeah, I should say, this episode was recorded during Early Access Day, which means we're playing Best of 1. That was the only option available. It was either play Best of 3 with old cards or play Best of 1 with new cards. So we're playing new cards. It is Best of 1 this week. We'll be back to Best of 3 next week. I do have a sideboard for the deck, so it is definitely Best of 3 playable. I think it's just as fine in Best of 3s and Best of 1, but I did want to give you the heads up that we're Best of 1ing this week. Anyway, let's talk Blue-Green Kicker, starting with our 3 payoffs. So we have 3 main payoffs for playing Kicker spells, and a bunch of Kicker spells. So number 1, Roosted Drakes. This is probably the most important card in our deck. 1 mana enchantment, that when we kick a spell, we get a 2/2 Drake. We can also kick it for 3 extra mana, and it makes a Drake when it comes into play. So this gives us a payoff for playing all of our Kicker spells. Having every Kicker spell coming with an extra kicker of a 2/2 Drake is actually very powerful, and then it is also a Kicker spell, so it can trigger other copies of itself or other payoffs, and most importantly, this gives us some defense in the early game, and then it gives us a way to win in the late game. In the early game, we can kick some spells, make some Drakes, chump block, because our deck, it's a bit slow. Like, our Kicker spells are expensive, many of them, especially for kicking them, so we need to just, like, stall out and buy time in the early game, and then in the late game, the value of our deck just takes over and goes crazy. So early game, Drakes for chump blocking. Late game, our Drakes go on the offensive and close out the game. We also have Verazol the Split Current, which is more powerful than I gave it credit for. So it essentially scales like Stonecoil's Hermit. For 2 mana, you get a 2/2 with 2+1/+1 counters. 4 mana, 4/4, 10 mana, it's a 10/10. Most importantly, we can remove counters from it, 2 of them, to copy a kick spell. So this means any spell. We can kick a Roost of Drakes, remove 2 counters, get another Roost of Drakes, and also like actual instant and sorcery spells. So Verazol gives us a massive creature and a way to copy our Kicker spells, which is very powerful. Finally, kind of rounding out our payoffs, so we got a couple of like pseudo payoffs. Coral Helm Commander is kind of the glue that holds the deck together. When we kick a spell, we get to loot, so gets rid of extra lands, finds us more action. When it comes into play, we get to dig 5 cards deep for a Kicker spell, so we can find our Roosted Drakes, find our removal, whatever Kicker spell we need. We have like 26 Kicker spells in the deck, so we're always hitting with Coral Helm Chronicler. Vine Greco is some Kicker ramp, just makes our first kick spell each turn 1 less to kick, essentially. So that's very important because Kicker is expensive. Some of our Kicker stuff goes up to 8 mana, so Vine Greco helps there. And then our Grizzly Bear grows with +1/+1 counters as we kick spells, so eventually Vine Greco can end up a 5/5, a 10/10 even, as the game goes along. So these are our Kicker payoffs. Then we have our Kicker spells. And our most important Kicker spells are our defensive Kicker spells. This deck, it's kind of a tempo deck, essentially. We're Blue and Green, so we don't have a ton of hard removal. So what we're trying to do is use Bubble Snare into the Royal, Inscription of Insight in the early game to just kind of like bounce our opponent's stuff, tap down their stuff, to buy us time to get our Roost of Drakes online, to get Verazol online, and then in the late game, our value just takes over. When we get to the late game, we're suddenly like kicking and copying Inscription of Insight to get 5 for once. We're bouncing 2 of our opponent thing, we're drawing 2 cards, we're making a big token. If we copy it, we get to do it twice, which is insane. Into the Royals, bouncing all of our opponent's stuff and drawing his cards. Bubble Snare can be tapping down multiple things with Verazol. So this stuff in the early game unkicked just to keep us alive, bounce stuff, do the tempo plan. Late game, it becomes crazy once we start copying stuff. Then we have our kicker ramp. I mentioned kicker, especially kicking our spells, can be very expensive. Vastwood Surge, Reclaim the Waste, just helping sure we have lands to kick our stuff. Reclaim the Waste, kind of a tune with Ether. 1 mana to search for a basic land. We can kick it and get 2 basic lands. It's in the land slot in our deck. We trim back on some basics to play it. And then Vastwood Surge, this card does double duty in our deck. It searches for 2 lands for 4 mana. More importantly, if we get up to 8 mana and kick it, we search for 2 lands, put them into play, and put 2 +1/+1 counters on all of our creatures. And the most common way we win with this deck is kind of doing the tempo stall out in the early game plan. And then late game, we get a bunch of Drakes from our Roost of Drakes. And then Vastwood Surge, kick it, maybe copy it with Verizol, put 2 or 4 +1/+1 counters on all of our flyers, swing in and kill our opponent with 1 massive attack. Lastly, we have Marasa's Sproutling, which is essentially our kicker Eternal Witness. 3 mana 3/3, we can kick it for 2. If we kick it, we get to return a kicker card from our graveyard to your hand. This gets back our Inscription, gets back Roost of Drakes, whatever kicker stuff we need. We can even chain them into each other if one dies early in the game. So a relatively on-curve blocker against aggro. But in the late game is getting us back all of our bounce stuff, all of our card draw, all of our finishers. Mana base-wise, pretty typical stuff, except for Throne and Bikindi, which is actually really good in the deck. Storing up mana and then allowing us to tap it for 2 mana by removing a counter for kicker spells in general. This gets us up to like 8 mana to kick our Inscription. Also helps with some of our 4 mana kicker stuff. We're able to like play this on turn 2, put a counter on it, and then the following turn on turn 3 we can remove the counter, have 4 mana, and like kick a Roost of Drakes or something, which is pretty good. Sideboard wise, Negates for control, Frogify more removal, Broken Wigs more removal, Low Mage Familiar, good against aggro, gaining life as we kick spells, and a pretty good body as a 2/4, blocks all day against aggro, Soul Guide Lantern for graveyard shenanigans, and that is blue-green kicker for Zendikar Rising Standard. That's our budget Magic deck for today. Oh, this deck's so sweet. This deck is so sweet. Let's get into the games so you can see the kicker in action. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Budget Magic time. Zendikar Rising is here. We are on Early Access Day. Ooh, all right, we can keep this. We're on Early Access Day. Checking out the new format in Standard, $20 blue-green kicker. Well, we will play this. Reclaim the Waste. Cannot kick it at the moment. Get an island. This actually works. So we can play this Throne next turn and tick it up, and then we have to kick it, don't we? Ooh, rogues, eh? Well, play the Throne. Pass the turn. I mean, I guess worst case we can kick Roost of Drakes next turn, which is still decent. Opponent has a swamp, goes to combat. Gets in, starts milling us. And let's just do this now. Charge up the Throne. Down a night, dude. Opponent mills. Ooh, we did kind of. Oh, okay. We didn't want that. I'll play the land and kick Roost of Drakes. Alright, so this at least gives us a blocker, which is nice. A flying blocker, even. Ooh, opponent's kind of a flashy rogue deck. Interesting. And has removal, sure. Mills a card. Fabled Passage. Oh boy, I wish we could be doing things. Well, we will Bubble Snare the Nightbonder. Yeah, opponent cracks. Play Thornwood Falls. And yeah, we're just gonna pass. I think we pass and then just kick Reclaim the Waste next turn. Opponent. Ooh, alright. Mind Carver. On the Wind Rider. And mine, okay. So this Wind Robber is getting big. And it's going to get really big if they get enough cards in our graveyard. The good news is, our Drakes can block it. Opponent gets and hits us. 4/3, we mill a card. Well, untap. Kick, Reclaim the Waste. Make a Drake. Get an island, get a forest. Play the island. And I think we hold on to Roost of Drakes for now. Pass the turn. Because we can kick it next turn. I guess we could also play a big Verizol next turn and then try to wait. We'll see. We'll see if our opponent has removal to keep attacking. We don't really want to keep getting hit by this. Alright, opponent does have more removal. Well, now we're almost certainly kicking Roost of Drakes and just waiting. Opponent gets and hits us mills. Passes. Actually, This is kind of interesting. We could Verazol just X2 or X0 as a 2/2. Yeah, let's do that. Let's Verazol X0. Kick Roost of Drakes. Remove the counters to copy. So now we're going to be up to 3 Roost of... This copies any kicker. So in copy permanents, yes, we will. Here comes the Drakes. Up to 3. And now every kicker spell is insane. It is just absolutely insane. Like next turn we get in the Royal, we get 3 Drakes. And bounce and draw. Opponent's not going to have enough... Yeah, alright. Opponent has all the Heartless Axe, but all the Heartless Axe not going to beat all the Drakes. We have more Drakes than our opponent can possibly have removal. Wow, this deck's actually working surprisingly well for being $20. Another Mind Carver. All right, opponent's all about these equipments. I don't know about these equipments. I think they're actually probably pretty bad. Gets in. Block. Thieves Guild and... Oh, okay. All right, all right, all right. Well, that kept their thing alive. And let's pass the turn. About it. Adepts. Opponent can move things around. None of this is really going to matter, though, because we get to make a ton of Drakes into the Royal. Kicker. I guess we just bounce equipment. Make a ton of Drakes. And opponent. Done, done, double done. Rogue's not good enough to keep up with the kicker. And it's working. It's really, truly, officially working. Oh, this deck's sweet. This deck is sweeter than I imagined it was going to be. Huh. I like it. All right. Budget magic time. We are Zendikar Rising early access eventing with a $20 blue-green kicker. Unfortunately, best of one, but better to play best of one than not get a new episode up this week and play old cards. This hand is fine. A little slow. Ooh, all right. Archfiend's Vessel. Opponent's some sort of reanimation style deck. Oh, play the Throne. Luminarch Aspirant. Well, charge it up. Opponent gets in, hits us. Sure. Play a land. Run out the Chronicler. Take Roost of Drakes. Roost of Drakes, probably our most important card. Opponent seems to be playing Clerics. Alright. So we're going to lose our Chronicler. Opponent, I assume, sacks Archfiend's Vessel, but we'll see. Yeah. Alright. Opponent hits us. Well, play the land. Let's just fast with Surge. Forest Island. And this actually gives us enough mana that we can kick this Inscription next turn, which should be really good. Opponent, land, grows the dorks. Grows the dorks. Hits us. However, we get to play a land, remove the counters. Yeah, kicked Inscription is pretty insane. Inscription, kicker. Bounce, draw, token. Pick 'em up, pick 'em up. We will... Oh, we kind of want to land. What are we doing next turn? Yeah, I guess this is fine. I guess we don't really need a land. We don't have to kick... We don't have to kick Inscription again this turn, necessarily. Alright. Luminarch Aspirant. Demonic Disciple. Does some sacking. Grows the dorks. Well, if we draw a land, we will kick it again. We'll see. Verazol. So we're short on mana. Well, play Roost of Drakes. No kicker. Pass the turn. So I think what we do is into the Royal to bounce something. Make a Drake so we can block. Take up Throne so then we can kick Inscription. And we're getting close to being able to start copying kicker stuff. And that's when things get really crazy. Cleric of Life's Bond. Okay. And Luminarch Aspirant. Also okay. Gains a life. Grows the Cleric. Opponent. Growing and growing. Alright, so we will 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the Royal. Bounce Demonic Disciple. Make a Drake. Do we want to block? Yeah, I guess we should, just in case. So we'll block. Charge up the throne. Opponent passes. Play the land. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, play Vine Greco. Remove the counters. Kick Inscription at a discount. All the modes. Bounce you, bounce you. Make some tokens. Grow the gecko. Pick 'em up, pick 'em up. Bottom and bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, bottom, bottom. Pass the turn. We might be stabilizing, unless our opponent has some direct damage or something. Because this is the part of the game we want to get to, when our deck can do really, just bonkers busted things about it. Null Priest of Oblivion with Kicker. Maybe this deck is actually just good. Maybe Kicker's good. Gets back the Archfiend. Okay. Grows the Null Priest. Passes. Well, Temple of Mystery. We'll keep Into the Royal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Verizal. X2. Roost of Drakes. No Kicker. Bubble Snare, kick it and copy it? Get a bunch of triggers. Make a bunch of drakes. It's coming together. Yes, we will copy it. Tap down the Null Priest too. And yeah, I guess we hit you for 10. And I think we've turned the corner. Whoo! Kicker! Wow. Wow, this deck is powerful. It's really powerful. What you got about it? What you got? Can you beat the kickers? Clerical Life's Bond, certainly. Ooh, Aura's really good. I don't think it's enough, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About it. Passes. Well, we will... 1, 2, 3. Kick Into the Royal. Bounce. Get a bunch of triggers. Copy it. Bounce. Draw a couple cards. And then tap this down. And we got the GGs. We outkicked them. Go to combat. Attack. Ooh, what a kicker performance. Pona got off to the fast start, but we have the stabilization. Oh, that was good. That was real good. I like this deck. This deck is way sweeter than I thought. All right. Sweet. All right. Kicking around in Zendikar Rising, best of 1 early access day, budget magic, etc., etc. Our deck's $20. It's definitely budget. It's alter budget. It's even arguably cheaper than alter budget. You know, we're going to keep this. We need a blue source, or 2 other sources. Well, okay, that does kind of work in a weird way. Specifically for kicker spells, but we do have kicker spells. Opponent Island. All right, so Simic Battles. And once we get to this, our mana should be good. All right, opponent's partying by the looks. Oh, blue mana. That we like. All right, let's just start countering up this throne, I think. Opponent hits us. Yeah. Down to 17. Hopefully we don't have to be full control to use this. All right, opponent's Bant Party. Archpriest. Well, let's put a counter on this. And, oh boy. All right, opponent's off to a fast start, which is a bit scary. We will play the island and kick the roost. Oh, wait. We can't. Wait, we should be able to, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so remove this. All right, now we can kick the roost. Make a Drake. Get some defense for this very aggressive party start. Opponent, ooh, dual land, and Tazri. And, oh boy, wow, what a party start. All right. And that is also the full party, thanks to 2 Paragods. And we're taking 5 in the air. And, yeah, we're probably pretty dead here. Opponent won the die roll and just had a extremely strong party start. Yeah. Well, actually, okay, we can play this. Oh, this is not exciting, but we can't kick it. We have to bounce this and this. I'm not even sure this is enough, though. Our opponent just got off to such a fast start. That does buy us some time, and then we can kick this Sproutling to get back Inscription and make it Drake. Maybe we got a shot. We would like to be casting these Vastwood Surges to just develop our mana for this Verazol, but... Alright, Paragon returns. And another flip land. And Tazri is cheap again. We drop to 6. I'll play the land, kick the Sproutling, make a Drake, get back Inscription, pass the turn. I wonder how differently this would have went if we were on the play rather than the draw. Well, we can see how aggressive of starts party decks can get off to. Very impressive. Opponent. I mean, our opponent's also drawn 3 Paragons, which has allowed them to have party odds. So I think they've also ran, I would say, above average. Opponent attacks with everything. Oh, we have to block here and drop to 2. But then we're dead. Yeah, we're just dead. All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Got to see party. Wow, that's random. Okay. Scryland, and yeah, now we're officially dead. We can bounce stuff, but we're still dead. Huh. Well, maybe we'll play that deck again. I really would like to see... Maybe party's better than we give it credit for. I mean, that was a ridiculously impressive start. But they did also draw 3 of presumably their 4 all-creature type creatures. So they kind of just, like, incidentally had party turned on, which made their deck much more powerful. So I would like to see it when with a draw where they don't have all those things. Like, are you still able to turn on party that easily when you don't draw all those preservers or whatever they are, the green 2-drop? So, Also, I feel like we might have been able to stabilize if we were on the play, but the 2-drop, 1-drop, 2-drop, everything like 3 power into like 2 mana Tazri was just too much with us starting on the draw. All right. Can we win a die roll? Is it possible for Kicker to win a die roll in Zendikar Rising Standard? Not yet. Still no. All right, yeah, hello to you, sure. Enjoy playing first. Dual land Gilded Goose. Yeah. Makes food. Well, we will scry. We will put another Verazol to the bottom. Opponent. I feel like our deck can do some really sweet things once it gets going, especially considering just like how insanely cheap it is. Dryad of Ilsengrove. Alright, so opponent's on some sort of land ramp strategy. Play the land, Vine Greco. Ship the turn. Opponent. Land. And Scorching Dragonfire. Sure. Gets in. Well, play Thornwood Falls, gain a life. Yeah, tap down Dryad, I guess. And pass the turn. I kind of like Bubble Snare as a removal spell. Alright, opponent has Leyline Tyrant. Well, let's run out Verols. Opponent is down to 1 card, which is good. And we're not super scared of this Leyline Tyrant because we can just bounce it. If we can ever get up to the mana to kick this, it'll be insane. Hopefully our opponent can't kill this. I'd be very sad. They only have 2 cards in hand. Alright, extra combat step, plays a land. Gets to untap their dorks. Does this work the way they're hoping? I guess we'll see. Gets in. Opponent. Yeah, I think you gotta play your land second main phase. Opponent passes. Ooh, into the Royal. That's not bad. So play the land. Let's see if we got a full control this. Kick into the Royal. Bounce. Yes. Remove counters. Bounce. Okay, this works. So bounce the 2 big threats. Draw a couple cards. Reclaim the Waste. No kicker. Get a forest. No attacks. Oh, we're getting close. We're getting close to where we want to be. Opponent. All right, replays it. Gets in. We take it down to 11. Land extra combat. Gets in, no blocks. Roost of Drakes. Ooh. All right, so play Roost. No kicker. Play the land. Into the Royal. Kick it. Bounce, make a Drake. Copy. Bounce Dryad. Draw a couple cards. Pick 'em up, pick 'em up. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're so close. We need one more mana to start kicking this, and then things become really exciting. The bounce plan has been working. Like, we were able to slow this deck down. It's scary because our opponent keeps having all these extra combat phases. They're going to run out of lands eventually. All right, Dryad returns. And Leyline Tyrant. Opponent passes. Ooh, all right, that's land. So play the land. We will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick Sproutling. Get back, get a Drake, get back into the Royal. And pass the turn. Next turn is when it should get really sweet. So pass the turn. We can bounce a Leyline Tyrant. We can block everything else. So we're not going to die, even with a Morog coming at us. And it's kind of working. It's kind of working. And our opponent's got a lot more power than we do, presumably. They got the mythics and the bobs, but we got the annoying synergies. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Well, block and block. So I assume our opponent's going to float all their mana, or some mana. They're going to let it go? 1, 2, 3. They can't kill it. Oh, wait, they have Dryad. Alright, bounce Leyline Tyrant. Yeah, the damage with the Dryad, making everything tap for red, would kill us. Alright, opponent's got to pick it up. Let's see what the play is now. The good news is we get to kick this Inscription next turn. And kicked Inscription is pretty strong. Bounce 2, scry 2, draw 2, make a big token, and we get a Drake out of the deal. The bounce plan's been working against these Leyline Tyrants and Morogs. Pretty impressively. Alright, Leyline Tyrant returns. Oh, opponent's going to be disappointed when this gets kicked. Land. Passes. Well, throne. Kick it. Choose all the modes. Bounce you, bounce you. Make a big token. Get a Drake, draw some cards. Oh, it's working! We are kicking this dragon viciously. Pick him up, pick him up. And now I think we actually start attacking a bit. All right, resolves. Opponent picks him up. We will bottom. Draw 2 cards. Oh, another Inscription. Get in. Start the beatdowns. Opponent's gonna make a food. Okay. I mean, I like where we're at because we get to do it again next turn. And then the turn after that, we get to keep Inscriptioning. And our kicker deck's working about it. I mean, unless they just have like a big burn spell or something, then... Leyline Tyrant returns. I mean, I guess this is a big burn spell, but if we keep bouncing it, it's... I guess we're seeing the downside of Leyline Tyrant, which is... While death is good for it, getting bounced repeatedly, not as good. I wonder if we can win next turn. All right, opponent cracks. Don't mind seeing Fabled Passage go away, because that's a easy... Ooh, another... Oh, boy. All right, another Leyline Tyrant. Well, we will play the land. We will kick Inscription again. Inscription's pretty good. Bounce, draw, token. We will bounce both dragons. Make a big token. Make a Drake. Oh, $20 kicker. Bottom, top. And, yeah. Oh, do we got to worry about haste stuff? Let's leave back one more Drake. Opponent gives us a GG and scoops it up, and we outkick the dragons. Oh, that was beautiful. That was exactly how we wanted this deck to work. Exactly. Like, our opponent was playing powerful things. They had a fast ramp star into extra combat steps, into a bunch of Leyline dragons, into Dryad making everything red, and we just kicked them. We just kicked them and kicked them and kicked them, and that was enough to get the win. That was very impressive. That is... Yeah, all right. That shows what the deck can do. We even got to copy something. Yeah, that was sweet. That was super sweet. Sweet. All right. Budget magic time. We are kicking our way through New Standard. Blue-green, $20 blue-green kicker. Also pretty cheap on Arena. 20 rares, I think, and no mythics. Ooh, opponent's got the counter plan. Well, Temple of Mystery, Scry. You know what? Let's keep it. Let's keep it. We can... Yeah, we might regret that. We'll see. Land and ooze, sure. Gets and hits us. So we'll play a land. Vine Greco. We need another blue source to be able to kick this, though. That's the reason to not keep it on top, although it does seem very good against our opponent's deck. Opponent. Getting in. And no blocks. Shadowsphere. I'll play the land. Coralhelm Chronicler. There are kicker spells that can get us lands. Oh, there we go. Right, reclaim the waste. So we will start hitting our land drops soon. No attacks. Yeah. Takes up the Shambler. Cracks. So Coralhelm Chronicler, whenever we kick a spell, we get to loot. Alright, things are shaping up. Opponent. Basri's Lieutenant. Yeah. Gets in. Actually, let's... how do we want to do this? I'm tempted to trade. Yeah, let's trade with the ooze. Drop to 15. Kick. Reclaim the waste. Get a couple lands. Island. Play an island. Bubble Snare. Storm Shambler. No attacks. Alright, I think we might have stabilized. We hit our land drops, we got 2 into the Royals in hand. Could use some Drake action. Opponent gonna equip the Basri's Lieutenant. Hits us for 5. Sure, no blocks. Down to 10. We are very much a late game deck. The early game's about stabilizing, and then the late game is about trying to win. Alright, so how do we do this? Play the land. Yeah, I think we just pass. I think we pass an into the Royal. To bounce the Lieutenant. Opponent, combat. Attacks with everything. We will kick into the Royal. Bounce the Lieutenant. Opponent gets a 1-1. Swarm Shambler is going off. I honestly didn't realize it triggered on any creature. So we bounce it. Opponent gets a 1-1. We draw land. We block the ooze. Opponent eats. Alright, so now we have to bounce the ooze. Give our opponent another 1-1. These 1-1s are driving me insane. Wow, Swarm Shambler's a lot better than I realized. So we take 1. I think we're still okay, though, hopefully. Another Swarm Shambler. Oh, play Chronicler. Get a Vastwood Surge. Thornwood Falls. Well, we'll see. Maybe we're not okay. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, all these 1-1s are actually a bit of an issue. We haven't had any Drake production. That's been the biggest issue. We haven't been able to find... Ooh, alright. Some more counter shenanigans. And there's a ooze. Yeah. Opponent. Pass it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I guess we just have to kick the Surge. Grow our dorks. Draw another Surge. Alright, we'll discard a Surge. Get a couple lands. No attacks. The Scavenging Ooze also shuts down our Sproutling, which is annoying. So we would like that to go away. Opponent ticks up to a 3-3. We're not just immediately dead, though. Opponent plays a land. Down to 1 card in hand. Alright, there's Basri's Lieutenant. Counter on the ooze. Yeah, the counter synergy is pretty sweet. Equips the ooze. We will block ooze with Gecko if we have to. Wow, full on attack. Well, block and actually 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, block and block. This isn't ideal, though. We drop to 4, and our opponent still has a big board. We draw a Chronicler. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick. Sproutling. Loot away a land. Get back into the Royal. Play the land. Bubble. Oh, no. If we bubble snare this, our opponent gets 2... Alright, let's play Chronicler. Get it into the Royal. Well, pass the turn. I mean, I think we can stay alive. We can bounce Lieutenant, block, 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 block. So we're not dead on board. Wow, so that ended up being super close. I still feel like once we turn the corner, we're going to turn the corner and win. The question is, we're getting close. We're getting close. Can our opponent kill us before we turn the corner? Opponent's going to equip up a 1/1. Goes to combat. No attacks. All right, well, we will kick it into the Royal. Bounce the token. Do some looting. Grow our dorks. We just need Drake production. That's the main thing we're missing. Ooh, Inscription's good. Well, discard the Surge. Discard Bubble Snare for now. Opponent passes. Well, 1, 2... So we have 5, 6, 7... all right, kick Inscription. All 3 modes. Bounce you, bounce you. Grow our dorks, do some looting. And we might have turned the corner. This might be it. So we get to double loot. Discard a land. Oh, there it is. That's a good one. Discard a land. Bubble Snare bottom, Roost of Drakes to the top. Play the Throne. Kick Roost of Drakes. Discard the Throne. Alright, I think we may have gotten there. Discard Verizal. Make a Drake. I don't think we start attacking yet. No attacks past the turn. We're like so close to just fully stabilizing this. Opponent ticks up. Untaps. Sort of. Oh, opponent passes. All right, this should do it. So now we get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we play Verizal. Gonna be a 4/4. Oh, those Swarm Shamblers are so obnoxious. Kick a Sproutling. Get a few triggers. And now we're going off. Yes, we will copy it. Get back 2 kicker cards. It'll be Inscription and... oh, yeah, we get to loot, too. Oh, my God, so many Inscriptions. Well, I guess we discarded Inscription now. We've got so many. All right, get back into the Royal. Go to combat. Do a tiny bit of attacking. And now I think we're good. And that is a power of kicker. Like, we fall behind, but once we stabilize, the value is... it's absurd. It really is absurd. I don't know if I've ever played a more value-filled $20 deck. Ever. Opponent, take it up. Sure. Enjoy your 6/6, opponent. And we still have this into the Royal up as a safety valve in case something goes wrong here. We can always just bounce. But I mean, I think this is pretty much over. If it wasn't for the tokens from these Swarm Shamblers, we would just bounce everything and then attack. But because they're making these tokens, it's sort of obnoxious. Stonecoil Serpent. Yeah. Opponent. Yeah, well, into the Royal. Bounce a Swarm Shambler. We're down to 22 cards, which is a bit of a concern. Not gonna copy this time. Discard an Inscription. Discard Reclaim the Ways. Untap. Kick. Triggers. There's a GG. There's a GG. That's the kick-in. Yes, we will copy that one. 4+1/+1 counters on everything. And I mean, that should just be game. Get the 2 lands, because might as well. Everything gets huge. We will discard Reclaim the Ways. And a land. And get the last land. I mean, as long as we don't mill ourselves out. And then, finally, into the Royal? Actually, let's just Inscription. No kicker. Bounce, bounce. Go to combat. So that's 6, 12, 18. Oh, yeah. I mean, we just attack with everything. Yeah, attack with it all. Oh, kicker power! That was an insane game, but we got there in the end. Like, eventually, the value this deck presents is just absurd. It is absurd. It is so good. Oh, man. And it's super fun to play. This deck's so sweet. It's so sweet. Whew. Well, I mean, so far I would definitely recommend this deck. Oh, yes, I know those are wild cards. Thank you. Thank you, Siri. Oh, really? Of the same rarity, you say? Tell me more. Ooh, deck builder. All right, we'll be back. All right, budget magic time. We are kicking it in new standard, and I mean we're gonna need some lands, but this is fine. Roosted Drakes, go. I mean, as long as we hit a land or two, this hand's pretty good. Opponent, Temple of Melody. Sure. Yeah, that's not a land. All right, pass the turn. Okay. All right, Magic Gods, land please. Swamp and Skull Prophet. Sure. So opponent's a graveyard deck of some kind. All right, there's a land. So we get to play the land. We get to Chronicler. Take... Well, I guess Fastwood Surge. I mean, step one is just getting our mana going. We need one more land, and then our mana should be good. And then we can start kicking it. Opponent. Thinking. Tap land. And binding. All right, so opponent's definitely some sort of graveyard deck. Everyone's milled. Can we draw land? Please. Valmire Knight. Oh, all right. Not optimal, but that does get us to a land eventually. We'll grab another forest. It's a slow land, but kind of a land. Well, pass the turn. Opponent, gonna get some life. Sure. Mind Rack Harpy. Interesting. Do we want to bounce this? Beginning a combat on your turn, each player mills 3 cards. Yeah, let's... Not full value, but let's bounce the Harpy. Slow down the milling. And we draw Throne. Yeah, I guess we just Fastwood Surge. Grab a couple lands. Set up to hopefully start doing more impactful things next turn. Could use an Inscription. Opponent, get back. Demonic Disciple. Alright. So that's kind of removal. Play as a Disciple, so we lose our Chronicler. And more Skull Prophets. Sure. Well, we will kick Reclaim the Ways. Get a Drake, thin the deck, island, and... So we're getting the lands out of our deck, increasing our chances of drawing our good stuff. Play the land, pass the turn, and we're making Drakes to play defense, which is nice. Opponent, Scryland. We're like a card draw spell away from going off, I think. Would have been nice if we could have kept our Chronicler for looting purposes, but opponent... Wow, full on attack. Alright. We will kill a Skull Prophet. Drop to 14. And what do you got, Golgari? Opponent passes. All right, well, we will take up the throne, I guess. Untap. Bubble Snare, kicked on Skull Prophet. Mega Drake. Thornwood Falls. And go. Roost of Drakes is actually very powerful. Swamp for our opponent. A little bit worried about Mass Reanimation, but opponent only doesn't have that much in the graveyard yet. All right, Mind Rack Harpy returns. Now, let's kick into the Royal. Bounce the Harpy. Mega Drake. Come on, Inscription! Chronicler's good. That should find us something. Opponent gets in. And we'll just take it. Soul Guide Lantern. Not super relevant against our deck. We do have a little bit of graveyard stuff, but not that much. Temple. I'll play Chronicler. Go digging. Well, I guess we take Roost. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kick the Roost. Make some more Drakes. Do some looting. Ooh, that's good. And play the land. Go to combat. And I think we can actually start attacking. Hit our opponent down to 18. Yeah, opponent draws a card. And you know, we're going to play this. Not the fullest of value, but Verazol's a 3/3. This sets us up to double kick this Fastwood Surge for lethal next turn. Like, 4+1/+1 counters at our Drakes should be game. Verazol's actually pretty sweet. Its scale is much better than it looks because of the way it's worded. So you cast it for 2 mana, you still get a 2/2. So his scale's kind of like Stonecoil Serpent, except you can't cast it like X0, X1. Opponent. Looking, reading. Alright. I think we might still have lethal. Mine Rat Harpy. So not lethal, but we're going to force our opponent to do a lot of chumping. Now lethal. Alright. Got him. Oh, can we also... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 8? Yeah, I think we just win. Alright. Kick it. Drake it. Win it. Loot away the land. Get some lads. And, yeah. Go to combat. Swing. And 16, yeah. Kicker! Oh, this deck's actually pretty sweet. Vote it. Blocks and dies. I don't know if I've ever played a $20 deck that felt as good as this, honestly. I think for its price, it might be the best deck we've ever played on Budget Magic. I don't even think I'm being hyperbolic. Like, we haven't played many $20 decks. And normally if you play a $20 deck, it is like super budget feeling. And you're like, ugh, like my cards, like some of it's okay, but they're not very good. This deck, it actually, like, the cards just feel really good. And the deck feels good, and it's synergistic, and it's also dirt cheap, so, not bad. Not bad at all. Alright, Budget Magic time. It is Zendikar Rising Standard time. Kinda, sorta. It's early access day. So best of one, but we are kicking it in Zendikar Rising Standard. And yeah, we can kick this. That's fine. Sure. Thornwood Falls, go. I mean, we don't have any big payoffs, but we can kind of stall out, draw some cards, annoy our opponent a bit while we, ooh, I like Fine Gecko. That's very good. Gecko go. This will let us kick this Reclaim the Waste. Confounding Conundrum. Sure. That doesn't do a whole lot against our deck. Well, we will kick Reclaim the Waste. Island. We do have one ramp card that puts multiple lands into play, but Confounding Conundrum shouldn't do too much against us. Island for our opponent and passes. Now play a Throne, go to combat, attack. And I think we just pass for now. Omen of the Sea. So gotta be some sort of Yarion deck, I assume. 1 to the top for our opponent. Yeah. Another island. Baron. Do we want to bounce the Baron? I'm honestly not sure. Huh. And let's not. Let's just, charge up the Throne. Untap. Land. Gecko. And Gecko. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent's got a Thassa. Blanks a Baron. Bounces a Gecko, I assume. Well, now it's our turn to start bouncing stuff, too. Let's see. 1, 2. Gecko. Do we just bounce Thassa now? When do we bounce the Thassa? If we wait, we could get countered. Yeah, let's do it now. Kick it, bounce the Thassa, grow the Geckos. Yeah, play another Throne, go to combat. Attack. Hit our opponent, pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Thassa returns. And Thassa's Oracle. Alright, so this is definitely obnoxious. We need to find Inscription, I think, would be our best bet. Opponent, put something on top. Probably going to be a good one. Blinks. Bounces a Gecko. Again. Ooh. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. What do we do about this? 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so play Gecko. Play the land. Play Verazol. X2. Remove counters for blue mana. Into the Royal. On Thassa. Grow our dorks. Copy it. On Baron. Draw land. Go attacking. I mean, we're trying to fight our way through. This bounce is just really slowing us down. If they have the land, all right, there's Nyx Lotus. Thankfully, we have an oh no. Oh, dead. Okay. Yeah. That is the disaster. Nyx Lotus and Corridor Monitor untap it. That's real bad. We might be dead now. Thassa. Thankfully, that uses most of the mana. Ooh, actually, we might be okay. We might be okay. We have an Into the Royal. Opponent gets to blink something. Okay, Corridor Monitor, untap Nyx Lotus. So that lets Thassa tap a creature? Well, we will... How can we do this best? All right, so we will remove counters. Kick Into the Royal. On Thassa. Grow our dorks. Copy it on Nyx Lotus. Opponent's thinking, boy, this is so close. So I assume they Thassa tap down one of our geckos. Oh no! Oh. Okay. Oh, that's a lot worse. 1, 2, 3. So we can play the land. Well, kick Sproutling. Grow the geckos. Get back into the Royal. Into the Royal, Thassa. No kicker. Go attacking. Opponent goes to 2, but they get to replay all their stuff and they untap with the Nyx Lotus. So this is going to be an insane turn for our opponent. Arcanus Owl for free goes digging. Are we going to end up just short? Another Nyx Lotus. That was a freebie. Opponent still has 9 mana. Baron gets to bounce something. 1 mana technically. It's a gecko that gets bounced. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we can do it now. I think our opponent got there. Yeah, Nyx Lotus. For a crab. And and the Corridor Monitor. Oh my goodness, what a turd. What a turd. Found it. 13 mana is the last unknown of Gadwick. Oh boy. Oh, this is so ridiculously close. Opponent, 13 mana. What can you do with it? Oh my god, it is Gadwick. Okay. Oh dear. Oh, so close. And so far, Thassa's Oracle. Yeah, now we're just dead. Oh. Oh, I thought we had it. Oh, I thought we had it. Yeah, so opponent, tutors, passes. There's not really any way we can win from here, though. Opponent has too many blockers. Like, I mean, Bubble Snare to tap stuff down that doesn't do anything. Vine Gecko doesn't do anything. Yeah, it's game now. Oh, I thought we had it. Well, I mean, Mono Blue Devotion, still good. Not very new, but I guess that's cool. I mean, technically you're playing the Crab, which isn't actually good in the deck, I don't think. But, sure. Yeah, alright. Yeah, Blue Devotion's cool, I guess. Alright, Budget Magic time. We are kicking it in New Standard. Best of 1 New Standard, because it's early access day, but Blue Grade, $20 kicker. Vestwood Surge to the bottom. I think this hand's fine. The hand's actually decent. We have a Verazol, which is sweet. See what our opponent's up to. Swamp and Archfiend's Vessel. Well, we'll just reclaim the ways. Grab a Forest. Play the Forest past the turn. Alright, so opponent's playing... I don't know. Red-Black Party, maybe? I'll play the land. Run out Verazol, so we got some defense. Castle Lockwing for our opponent. Alright, has a removal spell. And Fireblade Charger. Alright, well, we're kind of taking a beating here. Play the land. Ugh. Yeah, I guess we got a Vestwood Surge. No kicker. Get a couple lads. Are we going to be able to stabilize in time? Another Archfiend's Vessel. Gets in, hits us. Down to 11. I'll play a land. Snare the Priest. Pass the turn. Next turn we can kick our Inscription, which is decent. Zagras. Well, into the Royal. Kick it. Bounce Zagras. Drop to 8. Well, play a land. Kick Roost. 2 Roost isn't bad. Kick Roost. Alright. Our defense is here. Is it enough? Opponent. Zagras returns. Block. 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 Yeah, block, block, block. Kill stuff. Drop to 6. Drop to 5. Oh. Opponent. Land. Oh, they have a 1-drop? Alright. Gets a mountain. Ooh. Oh, that would be so sweet. Well, kick inscription. Bounce, draw, token. Bounce the vessels. Make some drakes. Draw a couple cards. We will keep both of those. Alright. Staying alive, staying alive. Target Intimidator, sure. No cowards at the moment. Soul Shatter, yeah. Well, play Chronicler. Get... Sproutling. Kick Sproutling. Make some drakes. Loot. Discard the land. Get back into the royal. And yeah, I mean, I guess we start chipping in for some damage. Hit our opponent. Down to 24. What you got, opponent? What you got? Opponent. Zagras. Okay. Attacks. Well. Block. 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 They can trample over for 2. Or pump. Oh, it scoops it up. All right. Opponent got off to the fast start, but eventually the kick in value gets the job done. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Budget magic time. We are checking out new... Oh my goodness, that's so many Roosted Drakes. We are checking out new standard on early access day with $20 blue-green kicker. And I think I like this battlefield. I like it better than the last one. I didn't like the Amaket remastered battlefield. This one looks kind of sweet. Nice river system. I'd probably build a city right here. Good access to luxury resources. Sorry, I've been playing Civ a little bit lately, so Roosted Drakes go. We would like to hit lands. Although I guess Throne can help a little bit. Opponent, Lotus Cobra. Well, Throne, go. Opponent. No fear. Well, nothing we can kick that cheaply anyway. Hits us for 2. Getting their ramp on. Yeah, Lotus Cobra's pretty powerful. Adds a green. Alright. Yeah. That's big. Yasharn. Gonna grab a couple lands. Well, play the forest past the turn. Plains for our opponent. Get some mana. And... Okay. Land shenanigans. Opponent. Goes attacking. Well, we will add some mana. Kick, bounce. Drake, draw. Alright, bubble, snare. That could be helpful eventually. More root grazers. Yeah, I guess all we can do is Chronicler. Another Roost of Drakes. Play the land. Scry. Yeah, I think Gecko's gonna go bottom for now. And go attacking. Not super comfortable with where we're at, though. Like, we can make Drakes, but I feel like our opponent, they have so much mana. They're gonna do something massive at some point. Adds a red mana. Ancient Green Warden. Okay. That's pretty good. Doubling up landfall triggers. It's a lot of mana with Lotus Cobra. Potentially. Has a basic land, makes 2 mana. This is a ambitious mana base because you need so many basic lands. Roiling Regrowth. I mean, the good news is our opponent's about out of cards. So unless our opponent has some source of card advantage, like they are making mana and doing things, but unless they have some source of card advantage, like where's this getting them? Replays it. So they're gonna need some card draw, or else our Drakes can just hold down the fort. Hopefully. We are gonna need... we're gonna need to keep hitting land drops. Opponent passing. Their stuff is big. That's not a land. So if we Vastwood Surge... Well, I guess we just kick a bubble snare, make a drake, loot, discard the surge, pass the turn. Oh, all right, no card draw, please. No card draw. Card draw beats us, or just something massive, some huge burn spell or something. Otherwise, hopefully our opponent's about, like, they've done a ton of ramping, but do they have a payoff? All right, reclaim the waste. That's just more ramping. That doesn't beat us. Land, double mana. So yeah, our opponent, they do all this stuff all day. Like, that stuff's going to be happening. Do they have a way to take advantage of it? If opponent attacks, we will block. All right, opponent's going to go attacking. We will double block a Root Grazer. Yeah, kill a Root Grazer. Drop to 12. Opponent passes. All right, there's a land. So play the land. Kick a Roost. Make a Drake. Loot. Actually, 2 Drakes. Discard a... Ugh, I guess it's land now. We needed it earlier, but we don't need it at the moment. So another Drake. Bubble Snare. Yeah, Sharn. And now I guess we start getting in there a little bit. All right, no payoffs. Please, no payoffs. Nothing big. Nothing big. We can actually close out the game kind of quickly. All right, another Root Grazer. That's not what we were worried about. Plays a land. Makes some mana. Nahiri's Lithoforming is what we're scared of. That's the card that would be very frightening. Into the Royal. Well, go to combat. Get him with the Drakes. Hit our opponent. Down to 10. Yeah, I mean, kick a Roost. Make more Drakes. Do more looting. Draketron! Draketron! Apparently good enough in Standard. Our opponent, and this is one thing that gives me hope about new Standard, our opponent did some insane ramping. Like, they went off with that Lotus Cobra. They were doing all kinds of shenanigans, but they didn't hit a payoff. So we don't live in a world, yes, Uro's still around, but apart from Uro, there's many fewer cards that are insane ramp spells and insane payoffs. There's no Nissa, there's no Gross Pyro, there's no Hydroid Crosses. So there actually is a fizzle rate, I think. And you actually got to work a little bit for your ramp deck. So discounting Uro, games like this give me kind of hope that maybe ramp will go back to being where it should be. Because our opponent, as far as just ramping, they're doing insane things, like Greed Warden, Lotus Cobra, extra land drops, thanks to Murasa, tutoring up lands, but they just didn't hit a way to finish it, so, yeah, alright. Still kicking them, all for just $20. Sweet, sweet, sweet. So what do we learn this week about blue-green kicker in Standard? And overall, we went 7-2 across 9 best-of-1 matches with the deck, which, pretty legitimate record. Of course, take it with a grain of salt. It's early access day. People are trying out new things, playing different decks, so I wouldn't put a huge amount of weight in the record. However, the deck felt good. Most importantly, the deck felt really powerful, and it felt amazingly fun. Once we get to the late game with this deck, the value is just off the charts, ridiculous, so unbeatable for most decks in the format. So the challenge is staying alive, and oddly, thanks to Bubble Snare, which that card's a lot better than I give it credit for. It's one of the better blue removal spells we've had in a long time. Thanks to Bubble Snare, thanks to Into the Royal, thanks to Inscription of Insight being able to bounce our opponent's stuff, along with just like Vine Greco blocking, Roost of Drakes making Drakes, we can expend our resources in the early game just to like bounce our stuff, play the tempo game. You saw that in many of our games. That's kind of what we're doing. As our opponent's playing threats, we're bouncing them, threats, bouncing them, just holding on, trying not to die, and then eventually we get to the point where we turn the corner, and all of a sudden we're copying our kicker spells and getting like 5-for-1s when we kick an Inscription and drawing a bunch of cards, and we're making just a ridiculous amount of Drakes, making 2 or 3 Drakes each turn, or we have multiple Roost of Drakes, which really spirals out of control. And then we turn the corner, and all of a sudden our deck goes from just trying to hang on, trying to stay alive, trying not to die, to just killing our opponent in a couple of turns with this huge board of Drakes, kicking Vastwood Surge to make them all into like 6/6s, winning with one big attack, doing ridiculous things with Verazol. So that's how you play the deck. If you pick up this deck, keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to spend your Bubble Snares, and your Into the Royals, and your Inscription of Insights unkicked in the early game just to try to stabilize. Like, it's all about just slowing our opponent down, buying us time to get our Roost of Drake set up, to build our mana so we can get up to the point where we're kicking Vastwood Surge, kicking Inscription of Insight. So aggressively spend your kicker stuff in the early game, even unkicked to slow the opponent down, because then we always can get it back. With Murasa's Sproutling, we can double stuff up with Verazol. So in the late game, we're always going to be good. It's like really hard to fizzle because so many of our cards draw us cards, get things back from the graveyard. So it's all about just staying alive. But if we can stay alive, which we did surprisingly well, even against dedicated aggro decks, we were able to stay alive. But if we stay alive, then the deck is just ridiculously fun and a blast to play. And I think it's important to point out, I'm not even sure there's a ton to upgrade in this deck. Like, it's a deck that just happens to be cheap. I was trying to think of a non-budget build, because I usually put one in the article on the website, and I was like, I could add like Uro to the deck, I guess, or just like other rawly powerful but not especially synergistic cards. But really, I feel like the deck is kind of good to go as is. Like, even though it's ridiculously cheap at 25 bucks, this is kind of its non-budget form as well, because we already have the best kicker stuff in our colors. So I feel like, I don't know, like blue-green kicker, it is 100 times better than I thought it was going to be. Like, I was hoping it would be decent and it would be really fun. It happened to be way more than decent and even way more fun than I expected. So if you want a cheap way to get started, it's Zendikar Rising Standard. I would recommend it. Like, I just truly had a blast playing this deck. So much value, so many tricky lines, so many tempo plays, so much card draw, so much copying. It just does really sweet things. So anyway, that's been Blue-Green Kicker. That's been our first Zendikar Rising Budget Magic. We'll be back next week to have some more fun playing Best of 3, of course. Best of 3 will be back. Until then, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you've been doing in Zendikar Rising Standard. What's been working? What cool things have you found? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.